Miss Games.
Hey, what? We woke up. We're back up. We did a thing. We did a thing with Hanako, and what happened last episode again?
Okay, this is the thing about Ryan's house, ladies and gentlemen. Since his mom owns a daycare, I don't need to set an alarm. At 7 o'clock, the kids just start talking.
Well, that's because you sleep, when you come over my house, you sleep downstairs where they're all...
When I'm upstairs, it's the same deal.
Well, because I have that big open little section by the diner and stuff.
Okay.
Meanwhile, my room has a door I can...
Your house has a built-in diner? That's
the
amazing!
dinner room!
I know.
Plus, actually, also, I can hear them in my room even when it's closed. You don't have to worry about that every time.
Oh,
Dude.
It's not like I could sleep in your room. What am I going to do? Sleep on top of you? Ew.
My room used to have 2 beds.
How did
It used to be right here, where my desk is. Because it used to be my brother's bed. Actually, that used to be my brother's bed.
So you two would share a bed? I mean, you two
No.
share a room with... This cramped room with 2 beds?
Well, when you take out this thing and clear this area, it feels much... Yeah, it's a small room!
Oh my gosh! I think... You know what? Whose room is smaller, mine or yours? Because my room's pretty... You saw my room.
I think they're the same size, but should we start? Should we start?
Yes, let's start.
Welcome, folks, to OMG Games Katawa Shoujo part 15. It's a new day. I forgot what happened. Misha, I think, apologized to Hanako and other stuff. Alright. Ready?
Yes.
I pull my...
That's what you get for being direct.
What? What?
That's what you get for being direct, Misha.
I thought you said erect.
She
Yeah.
can't! She doesn't have that part!
I pull my door closed, ready for another day at class. Sleep well? Oh no! Too close!
Jeez, that was
Kenji's-
out of nowhere.
Kenji's sudden arrival makes me jump, and I nearly avoid butting heads with him. I know he has poor eyesight, but he...
Wait. Hold on, be quiet for 2 minutes.
2 minutes? What?
Shh. Oh, I love that music. It's
His
so
theme?
weird. His theme is the music.
Would you like me to give you the
bonky.
Would you like me to give you the soundtrack to this
Nah, I'm
game?
good. Your music's just bonky to me.
I know he has poor eyesight. Oh, I still gotta give you the Undertale soundtrack. I know he has poor eyesight, but he knows who I am now. Does he still have to stand this close? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Like a baby.
Damn, why do people say that? Have you ever heard a baby sleep? They scream all night, every night. Babies don't sleep well, ever.
Well, there goes my restful state. I have to remember to never use figures of speech with Kenji. Alright, I get your point. It was a figure of speech. It was an idiom!
Yeah, sure, whatever. Where were you last night? I had a favor to ask you, but you weren't around.
For a split second, I considered telling Kenji the truth, that I was spending time with Hanako and Lily. Alright, we went to their room.
Oh, he would be totally pissed.
What?
What?
You freaking traitor!
I can't go near
I'll
you.
freaking kill you!
You got cooties.
I'll freaking kill you before they kill you! What? That's totally something he would do. I'll kill you! Why? So they can't kill you! I'd rather get my hands dirty than have their hands dirty with your dirtiness!
Okay, just completely...
Thankfully, that split second passes as soon as it came. I was just out, checking out the local area and stuff. You know, recon.
Liar!
Good man, good.
What's recon?
Recon, inspect around an area.
Oh.
Good man, good. I knew you were the type to plan ahead.
Anyway, what was this favor you wanted?
I was gonna get some takeout, but I needed change.
Wait, what? I gave you money last week and you still haven't paid me back!
I was starting to think you were cool.
Kenji fishes around in his pocket and produces his wallet. He doesn't pay us back for the pizza, remember?
Yeah.
As he counts out the 400 yen he owes me, I can clearly see at least 2 2 10,000 yen notes. Hey, what the hell? Why are you borrowing money off me when you've got that much cash? Kenji hisses a little, realizing he's been had.
Get off my case, man. It's bad luck to break a big note for it. It's bad luck to break a big note for anything less than half its value. It's the tycoon's rule. Last night's dinner was gonna cost me 7 years of bad luck. 7 years! Don't you think that's enough, Don't you think that's enough cause to help someone out? I'd get a shorter sentence if I just stole the stuff.
My common sense screams at me to say something to him, but thankfully I restrained myself. So he doesn't want to. Okay.
I heard the whole
so
thing.
I'm trying to grasp what he said.
He's basically saying apparently it's bad luck to split that kind of money than less than half its value. So.
And then he would not get sent because he was also thinking of stealing it. And it's like, but then I would get.
What about
sent.
duck and cents?
What?
You just said duck and cents. It makes no sense.
No, him stealing it.
Stealing what?
The food.
He stole the food?
He was planning on it, but then he was like, oh, then I'd get a lesser sentence if I didn't do that.
A lesser sentence if I did what?
Jail.
Oh.
If I didn't steal it. Yeah, you'd get no sentence. Arguing a point like this with Kenji just leads to further and more complicated discussions. Yeah, I guess you're right. Maybe you should plan these things a little better.
Yeah, man, I know. I've just gotta... Yeah, man, I know. I've just got so much stuff to do, it's hard. And you're never around anymore, so I'm on my own.
We just arrived here like what? A week ago?
We're supposed to be brothers in brotherhood, remember?
Yeah, I get you. Global conspiracy and such. I'll keep my ear to the ground. Another idiom! Kenji draws close enough for me to get a clear whiff of his garlic-tainted breath. Oh, and I happened to upchuck a little at that moment.
You better, man. You're already spending less time here. That's the first thing they do. They'll try to split us up, divide and conquer. Sun Tzu said that.
Sun Tzu?
Who's Sun Tzu?
That's a Chinese old Chinese warlord, but he was famous for having like a lot of war proverbs and war sayings. If fighting is to result in victory, then you must fight. Stuff like that.
Okay.
He's a very famous warlord who's very famous in his arts.
Okay, I don't want history. Please. I'm sorry.
Of course, Kenji would know him though. Roger that. Now I've got to be going. I got classes. You coming?
Nah, I'm tired. I stayed up all night just to make sure nothing was gonna happen after splitting that note.
As rational as ever, I see.
Whatever. Night.
This guy
Oh.
would punch someone in the face and say, "Now tell me you're sorry." What'd I do?
You hurt my hand.
Oh. I don't know about Kenji.
Kenji scurries back into his room, and I hear him throwing his locks as I walk down the hallway.
I wonder how he talks to girls now.
I
Like, what if Hanako were to just say, excuse me, Kenji?
There's
can I borrow a
actually-
pencil?
He actually does talk to Rin at some point in Rin's route. Because of his poor eyesight, he mistakes her for a guy.
Oh.
And it's the best. And let me tell you, can you imagine the scenario of Rin and Kenji meeting up? Oh, man!
Hi, you want to chase a cloud with me?
What? I thought what? They're chasing already? Oh, damn it, they're already onto us! They are? Wow.
Well, that's flirty.
I always suspected they were.
oh, man! Oh, man!
I could just picture, like, Rin losing track of what's going on, just playing along with Kenji's conspiracy. I knew they were gonna get us.
Wow, what a weirdo.
Let's go. Let it read! Please.
That is why some people can't roll their tongue. Or why their second toe is longer than their big toe. What the heck does that have to do with what?
You just straight up said that.
What class is he teaching right now? Mutou beams a half-moon smile at us, obviously proud of his explanation of recessive genes. Oh, okay, I get it. However, no matter how impressed he is at the no matter how impressed he is at the science that defines who we are, the classroom seems to be reduced to a stupor. Hey, folks, aren't you glad we actually pay attention?
You know what this kind of reminds me of just by looking at him?
What?
For some reason, he always made me. I was like, as soon as I saw this character, I'm like, okay, the way he looks makes you think of something. What is it? It just clicked in my head. He reminds me of Stu Pickles.
What? I think I see it.
I don't know. He just reminds like if Stu Pickles was in an anime.
Mutou, what are you doing? Making chocolate pudding. Why are you making chocolate pudding?
I just made him sorry!
Because I've lost control of my life.
I can't believe you remember that.
Why? What? Why is it that a bad explanation can make even the most interesting thing seem worthless? I can see Mutou deflate as he realizes that nothing he said in the past half hour has sunk in. Whispered conversations start to break the silence, and like an avalanche, the noise level in the class starts to rise. Defeated, Mutou identifies some questions from the textbook and starts clearing off the blackboard. Almost as if expected, Hanako packs her things up and leaves as soon as people start talking and laughing amongst themselves. The initial shock of seeing someone play so blatantly truant has started to fade, but it doesn't stop me from wondering. I think I read that right. Is she leaving because she doesn't want people to speak to her? Or is it just the thought of people around her shattering her peace? Before I can think about the topic any further, the lunch bells ring. I wonder if she was simply taking the opportunity to leave early. The usual clamor of students exchanging books for lunch rebate. Reverberate? What the heck are those? Around the room, and while Misha's distracted, I grab my lunch and head out the door. Lily already sits in the tea room, setting out her lunch alone. Man, I am messing this up. So Hanako's not here then?
Hisao. How are you? I haven't met Hanako since this morning, I'm afraid.
That's right. Hanako and Lily live next to each other. Somehow I think their morning conversations are slightly more grounded than Kenji's ramblings. That's strange. She left class early, so I figured that she'd come here.
So she's still leaving class early?
Huh? Yeah. Yeah, I've seen her do it a few times. Lily drops her head a little, and her tone of voice is notably depressed. It's very reminiscent of the music is fading. I think something serious is about to happen. Tommy, what'd you do?
What?
I love how that always gets your attention. It's very reminiscent of someone who's used to hearing bad news.
I was so sure that she'd stop doing that once the you two became friends. Everyone has their own pace, I suppose.
Well, I was wondering about that just today. Why exactly does she leave?
I'm not entirely sure myself. I personally think it's because she doesn't want to be put in a situation where she has to answer someone.
I have a flashback of my first meeting with her, when I thought she looked like a cornered animal. Maybe it wasn't far from the truth. But she seems fine with talking to you, and with me, a bit.
It's a little more complex than that. I imagine that the first thing most people ask her...
Oh, shoot.
It's a little more complex than that. I imagine the first thing most people ask her about are her scars, and what happened. She rarely talks about it with me, but I can tell she doesn't like to remember whatever happened back then. Leaving class and running away from discussions is her preemptive strike, if you will.
So So then how does that explain her talking to me?
You said it yourself yesterday at breakfast. You tried to ignore her scars. Once she saw that you weren't going to ask her about that, she opened herself up to you.
I guess you're right. Maybe. I don't know. You know her better than I, so I'll take your word for it.
I wouldn't worry about that. I'm sure you'll come to know her as well as I do soon enough. I welcome the prospect of her having a new friend, and the two of you have such similar interests.
Well, I would hardly count reading as a team sport. It's good to have company, though.
That's my point. Hanako is still an average person at heart. She also wants company at times like that.
I see. I think. To be honest, both of you still confuse me a little.
It's only natural, Hisao. We've only known each other for a little while. It's unreasonable to expect you to understand us just as we can't understand you. But that is half of becoming friends, right?
Yes. Yes, it is.
Although, I suppose there is the matter of us being opposite genders. Men and women do seem to confuse each other quite often.
She says this with a light giggle, finding amusement at the odd little details of life.
I hope you don't mind, but I'm gonna start eating.
No, go ahead. I think I'll eat something too. I got some books I want to drop back at the library before classes start, so I'd better get a move on.
You'll probably find Hanako there as well. If you do see her, can you tell her to stop by my room later tonight? I'd like to talk to her.
You're not coming?
Unfortunately, I have a class representatives meeting later, so I'll be gone as soon as I finish my lunch.
Okay then. If I don't see her in the library, then I'll tell her in class. I'm sure she'll be back after lunch. We fall silent as we start to eat. I take a second to reflect on our conversation. I've always thought that Hanako's shyness was simply due to her being self-conscious of her scars. But that's a pretty shoot! Okay, I know that word. I can't get it right. But that's a pretty superficial. But that's a pretty superficial way of looking at her. Just when I thought I was able to see through the fog of Lily and Hanako, I realize I'm more lost than when I started. Lily quickly finishes her lunch, acutely aware of her meeting. I don't blame her. Shizune is most likely going to be there. I doubt she wants to give her the satisfaction of another argument.
I must be off. Same time tomorrow?
Same time, same channel. I'd better ride off too. I don't want to risk being late. Lily smiles gently, picks up her cane, and walks out into the hall. I turn my back on Lily as we head in opposite directions. For some reason, I find myself hoping she doesn't get into another fight with Shizune. As much as I like Lily, Shizune and Misha have been pretty instrumental in helping me adjust, even if half our conversations are thinly veiled recruitment attempts. Then again, I barely know either of them. Maybe they were previously leaders of some kind of secret society, but their love for each other drove them apart. I need to stop reading cheap fiction. It's rotting my brain. Either that, or I've got to move away from Kenji and his bad influence. It's said that I can't tell the two apart anymore. Oh! I slide my books down the return chute, and they crash into the cart and in a pleasant thud. Yuko, however, doesn't seem as impressed as I.
Hisao, you scared me.
Sorry, I thought you'd be used to that by now. Or is the literacy level here so low that nobody borrows any books?
Huh? No, I think everyone here can read just fine.
Yeah, never mind. There's some battles you can never win. Trying to explain jokes is one of them. My dad taught me that the hard way. Oh! Apparently he finally talked about his parents in some form. I guess his dad was terrible at telling jokes. Oh, man. Say, Yuko, have you seen Hanako about? She left class early, but but she wasn't in her usual hiding place. I think I saw her sneak in before lunch. Oh, I'm not supposed to tell anyone that! I just told you that I saw her leave. No need to stress out. Oh, of course. She's probably in the back. Thanks. Get any new books in recently? No, sorry. I'll let you know when we do, though. Okay. There's one thing I know about librarians, part-time or otherwise. It's that they appreciate people who take a genuine interest in their work. I walked the now familiar path to Hanako's reading nook, picking out a few titles along the way. Sometimes I find it hard to discover a book that will interest me among the shelves. An author's name and a two-word title don't mean much in a sea of similar words. For that reason, I sometimes reread books that I read in the past. Better to bet on better bet on the favorite than a new runner.
Hey, question: how popular is this game?
I'd say it's pretty popular. I wouldn't say it's like super big. It's no Star Wars, which is unfortunate. But I've run into a lot of people that just won't play it because it's weird. It's kind of like it supposedly tackles taboo subjects. I won't say it tackles taboo subjects. It just tackles subjects people don't want to admit are real things. But it's popular. It is popular. I remember last time I went to Kineticon, I went to a little visual novel introduction panel, and I remember the guy was starting to recommend visual novels, and well, I literally only went to it just because Katawa Shoujo getting mentioned. It did get mentioned, and it actually got a big reaction out of the audience.
Like what?
Like, it was like, ooh! Like, I was hearing, people go. Also, I was the only one dressed as Kenji. So eventually, I was actually there, said, also, are you dressed up? Yes. So when they actually talked about Kenji, they brought the character up, and then suddenly, wait, you dude, are you? Yes, I'm Kenji. Oh, hey, there you go. Here, stand up, dude. And they had me stand up, because I was like, I was dressed as the thing they were talking about.
Wow.
And then they showed a picture. They showed that one picture from Hanako's bad ending. And oh my gosh, so many people like, oh god. Oh man.
What picture?
They showed the picture from Hanako's bad ending. There's a important picture from Hanako's bad ending, and everyone was just like, oh man.
Like what? Can I see it?
No. I'm not showing you anything related to that. You told me you don't want spoilers from the choices.
But I don't want to get the bad ending. So, okay, let's read, please.
I'm just saying, there was a reaction more than the others.
Okay, we're wasting screen time.
Alright. We're wasting... For that reason, I already read that. Oh my gosh. An unfamiliar title from a familiar author peeks out among the spines of its neighbors, so I remove it from the shelf. It's totally Jules Verne. He's totally gonna read Jules Verne. At least I'm not going over old material. Okay, he's not reading Jules Verne. As expected, Hanako sits in her beanbag, very deep in a copy of Dance, Dance, Dance. Okay, I think that is a real book. I think I've heard of that one. I still like that she's
popped in my head, Dance Dance Revolution.
I still love when we first meet her. She's reading Life of Pi. That's a good movie. That's a good movie.
Now I'm just picturing Hanako.
Seriously, Tommy, you should read that or watch that movie, Life of Pi. You would like that.
Please read.
Hi, Hanako. How's it going? I fight back the urge to ask why she left class early. If Lily's suspicions are right, then asking her about it could have the opposite effect. Best to leave it for the time being. Sometimes the best way to get an answer for someone is to never ask the question. Hello, Isao. I'm fine. Something seems off, and after a couple of seconds, I realize what it is. Hanako's smiling. She looks as if she's pleased to see me. It's a nice change from the usual instinctively frightened reaction, and something I hope I can see more of as we get to know each other better. Good to hear. How's that book? I've heard it's a trip. It's good, I think. I've only just started it, so I don't know.
Fair enough. Let me tell you how it goes. May I borrow it once you're done? Oh, let me know how it goes. Sure. It's a good 15 minutes left in lunch. Not enough to really get into a book, but too much to stand around doing nothing. And Hanako's already returning to her reading, so I doubt I'll get much conversation from her. Oh well, better start making myself comfortable. I slouch into a beanbag and crack open my book. He reads the book anyway. The familiar style of the author leaps out at me from the very first line. As the sentences turn into paragraphs, I start to relax a little. But no matter how I try, I can't seem to get myself in the atmosphere of the book. This is partly due to the lack of time, but the more distracting factor is Hanako. Every 10 or so seconds, she peers over the top of her book, but when our eyes meet, she quickly ducks behind the covers. I guess she did not want to talk. I guess she did want to talk about something after all. What's up? You look like a prairie dog on lookout. It's nothing. I've told you before. Nothing means something when you say it like that. Hanako squirms a little in her beanbag, hoping that by changing her position, she'll find the word she's looking for. I was in an accident. Accident? Just now? Are you alright? Hanako shakes her head, hair flowing around her shoulders in wisps of amethyst in a background of pale and dark flesh. No, when I was younger. Realization crashes into me like a semi. When I was... It's alright, Hanako. It's alright, Hanako. You don't have to tell me anything if you don't want to. Again, she shakes her head. No, I won't. Okay, hold on. No, I have to tell you. When I was young, I was in a fire. My house burned down and I nearly didn't make it. Oh my god. Every time, this picture, I can't tell if I want to kind of giggle or be sad. After that, I was alone. Monaco's eyes glisten in the dim light of the library, and I reach out to grasp her hand. It's okay, Hanako. You don't have to keep going. But I have to. Why? What brought this on? Last night, Lily told me about your heart. And I didn't think it was fair. Fair? That I knew about you, but you didn't know about me. I squeeze Hanako's hand a little. Don't be silly. But yes, I have a heart condition. I lean a little closer. Okay. What I didn't tell Lily is that I had my first attack when a girl confessed to me. I smile a little to break the tension. Really? Really. I hadn't heard from her for a while though, so I guess it's all over. I know it's all over. There's no other way to interpret what happened the last time I saw her. In some ways, not having heard from her again has helped me move on from that period of my life. So now we both know a little more about each other. But you don't have to talk about things if you don't want to. In fact, I feel a little bad even thinking about the whole incident. I can almost smell the hospital's disinfectant burning in the back of my sinuses again. I imagine Hanako's going through the same thing now. Okay, we got narration now. Tommy, you haven't said anything.
I'm just into the story.
What?
Please read.
Okay. When I was in the hospital, I went to the burn ward once, and only once. I was bored, so I went for a walk through all the wards. I went through oncology and thought I could take it, but when I got to the burn ward, I turned around and went back to my bed. To think that Hanako would have spent months in that place like that, smelling nothing but corrupted skin, strong disinfectant, and sterilized air. I feel really bad. The really bad cases were kept in isolated pods that no foreign objects could enter. That would have meant no reading. I could have gone insane if it hadn't. I would have gone insane if I hadn't had my books in the hospital. And she said she was alone. Did her parents die? I'll have to ask Lily about it. I can imagine myself saying something dumb unintentionally. Thank you, Hisao. I haven't told many people about this. To be honest, I haven't told many people about my circumstances either. Then I won't tell anyone either. Deal. I changed my grip on Hanako's hand to a handshake as the warning bells chimed through the window. Well then, we better head back to class then, eh? Sure. What? Oh, fade to white. Fade to white.
Well.
What? Whoa! What?
Yeah.
We're already on Act 3! I told you Hanako's route is short.
What's Act 3 called?
Casting.
What's casting?
Casting. Well, hold on. Well, Tommy, do you think we should leave it off there on this one? I think that's a pretty good way to stop. We're on Act 3 already. Wow, that was...
And as soon as we stop, we're gonna do next episode ahead of time because I want to keep reading this.
You want to keep going?
Yeah,
It's gonna keep going. Tommy's into it now.
I've been
Tommy!
into it since...
You did what my mom did for a bit at the beginning, which said, I hope things pick up a bit.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I had my mom play Oh man, I had my mom play this. She's still in Act 1 if I remember. I think her save file's still on here.
Alright, let's keep on reading.
No, we gotta finish here.
Okay,
We'll see you on the next episode. We're now at Act 3.
And we're doing the next episode right after we close this one.
No, we're not.
Yes, we are. We're just not going to post it yet.
We can play with time travelers. Marty! We gotta go back to the future! Right now! Flux capacitor on to the future!